Question number 3, Grant Robertson.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Does he have confidence in the Minister of Building and Construction?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, yes.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Grant Robertson.
Why did he allow Maurice Williamson to continue as a director of Holyoake Industries when he appointed him as Minister of Building and Construction?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, like all ministers, I advised that the member or the minister should seek advice from the Cabinet Office about managing potential conflicts of interest. The minister, as I'm aware, took that advice, and I'm quite satisfied that he can actually manage any conflicts of interest. And I'd make this point, advised also by the minister, that Holyoake Industries does not have a contractor or subcontractor relationship with Mainzeal.
Good question, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, Grant Robertson.
Is it, further to that answer, is it correct that Holyoake Industries worked on the ventilation system of the Supreme Court where the lead contractor was Mainzeal?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Well, Mr Speaker, I can't confirm that because I don't know what Holyoake Industries does, but if the member tells me that's the case, I'm sure that's the case. That was the Supreme Court building that was tendered. Mr Speaker, that was the Supreme Court building that was tendered under a Labor government, and the minister wasn't the minister then. And by the way, 2 weeks ago, the Labor Party wanted Maurice Williamson to be Speaker. This week, they don't want him at all.
Supplementary question, Grant Robertson.
Does he think it is possible for the minister to manage a perception of conflict of interest in his role as minister by not receiving papers on, quote, heating and ventilation issues? And if so, how does he think the minister will separate out discussion of heating and ventilation from other building issues like windows and insulation?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, it's incumbent upon ministers, if they believe that they have a conflict of interest or a perceived conflict of interest, to manage that. That has been the long-standing principle. The minister has sought advice on that and is doing that. And I'll bet, although I haven't gone and checked, I'll bet there were plenty of members of the Labor Party, Labor executive in the last 9 years that had conflicts of interest and they managed them. Didn't they, Trevor?
Supplementary question, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, Grant Robertson.
Has he appointed a minister to be responsible for heating and ventilation issues? And if not, can the opposition suggest that Stephen Joyce would be a very appropriate person to be the Minister for Hot Air?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Well, Mr Speaker, the member is free to suggest anything he likes about Stephen Joyce. All I'd say is I'd rather have Stephen Joyce than 20 Muppets from the Labor Party forming a cabinet.
Question number 4, Simon O'Connor.
Thank you, Mr Speaker.